Hi everyone, welcome to today's session that is taking user input with input function. Now, every program we have built so far in the series has been one directional. That is Python talks, the user just watches. But today that changes. In this video, you're going to learn how to make Python listen, how to ask a user for information, read what they type, and use that response inside your program. We are going to read a name, read an age, and along the way discover one of the most important rules about user input in Python. So let's get into it. First of all, my topic is on how input function works. How input function works. Now, the function that we are using today is called input. This input. Just like print sends information out to the screen, the input brings information in from the keyboard. Here's how it works. When Python hits an input call, it pauses your entire program and waits. It doesn't move to the next line of code until the user has typed something and pressed enter. So whatever the user types gets handed back to your program as a value, and you store that value in a variable just like you learned in the last video. Let's do let me explain you in by doing some practical work. Okay. Suppose I type input, okay, and now see what is happening over here. The program is running and it is just sitting there waiting that I'll type something and press enter. So I typed 5 and hit enter. So it accepted what I typed and the program ended. But we didn't do anything with what I typed. We didn't store it, so it just disappeared. This is not very useful. Let me add a variable to capture it. Now, response equals to input and print response. Okay, and then I'm going to type again. Okay, now whatever I type, it gets stored in the response and we print it back. But there's still one thing missing. The user has no idea what they are supposed to type. That's what the prompt argument is for. You can put a message inside input, a string that gets shown to the user before the cursor appears. For example, response equals to input and there is a message that is type anything, print response. Now the user sees type anything over here. If I can show you over here, type anything and knows what to do over here because now that message inside input is called the prompt, and in almost every real program you write you will always include one. Okay, now I type suppose hello, right? So an input with no prompt leaves the user staring at a blank cursor like we did over here. Okay, we hit enter. Now see over here something wait, yeah, so yeah, right, blank cursor with no idea what's expected. Okay, let me enter something over here. Now let's write something real over here. We are going to ask the user for their name, okay, and use it in a personalized greeting. Okay. Now name equals input. What what is your name? Okay. And print f string hello name welcome to Python. Now, what is your name? Press enter to confirm or escape cancel. Suppose I type Saurabh. So hello Saurabh, welcome to Python. So the program asked for a name and I typed one and it used that name inside the greeting. Okay, over here. Dynamic personalized output from just two lines of code. Okay, now let's talk about reading an age plus the string problem. Okay, now let's read something a bit different, a number. We are going to ask we are going to ask the user for the age. Okay, now name to input. What is your name? Age input. How old are you? Print f name is age years old. Now I'm going to type a name and age, suppose 30. So Saurabh is 30 years old. Now name and age both printed correctly, but here's the critical thing. I need to show you because this is where almost every beginner gets stuck without understanding why. What if we want to do something with that age? Not just print it, but actually use it as a number. Okay, let's try adding 1 to it to calculate the next year's age and see what happens. So we have got name, we have got age. Now I type next year is equal to age plus 1. Okay, and I'm going to change this a bit over here. Next year name will be next year. Next year, this will be years old. Now let's see what happens. I type a name over here and I type age. Suppose I type 10 over here. Now see what happens. So you see an error over here. That is type error can only concatenate str to str. So the error says we are trying to concatenate, that is join, an str with an int over here. But we typed a number 25 or whatever age we entered. Yeah, Did we enter 25? No, we did not. Let me try this once again. Maybe, yeah, we entered 10, not 25. Right. So here's the rule. As you see an error over here, I want you to remember this one thing, and that is very important. Input always return a string. Always. No exceptions. It always returns a string. It doesn't matter whether you have typed 10 or 25 or 100 or 3.14. Input hands it back to your program as text, not as a number. So when we typed our age 10 or 25, okay, Python stored it as text 10, not the number 10. And you can't add 1 to a piece of text. That's exactly what the error is telling us. Now, casting with int, that's the solution for it. If we cast this with integer, that is, how old are you, turning string into an int, this solves the problem. Okay, so we need to convert the string that input returns into an actual number. Okay, and in Python, that is called typecasting. Typecasting. Right. Right. Type. mhm, Casting. So let's do something about it. We have age input over here. Now we will wrap this into int. Okay, wrap this into int. We got name, we got age, we got next year, we got printf next year. Name will be this old. Okay, let's see now. We have got this name, we have got the age 25. Okay, next year Saurabh will be 26 years old. No error, and the math works correctly. Okay, now let's look at exactly what changed on this line 2. I wrapped input inside int. I wrapped input function inside int function. This means first get the user's input as a string, then immediately convert that string into an integer. By the time the value is stored in age, it's already a proper number that Python can do arithmetic with. Okay, let's prove that type really changed by using type function. Okay, we have got age, number, and string. Okay, let's try something fresh over here. Name is equal to input. What is your name? Age string equals input. How old are you? Okay, age underscore number int age string. Okay, now print type age underscore string, print type age underscore number. Okay, I'm printing the type of these age underscore age number, and then print f next year name will be age underscore number plus 1 years old. Okay, now I typed the name, type the age. So I have got The first one, this is age underscore string as str. That means it is a string. And another one, because I've wrapped this age underscore string uh, by integer, so the type is int. Okay, so here's the proof. Age string is class str and age underscore number is class int. Okay, now one more thing worth knowing over here. If the user types something that isn't a valid number, say they type hello when you ask for their age. Let's do it. I enter name and I over here. What I'm doing over here, see, it asks me about the age, but I'm not printing any number over here. I'm not typing any number over here. I'm typing a string. Okay. So see what happens over here now. Value error, invalid literal for int with base 10, hello. So this has raised a value error. Okay. So if you type print when you have been asked for the age, an error will be raised. Okay. But we'll learn how to handle that gracefully when we get to error handling later in the series. For now, just know that int expects a valid number string. Okay. So let's uh okay. Okay, I think some mistake has been done. Uh yeah, right. So let's lock in. Let's lock in what we have learned today. Input. This input function pauses your program and waits for the user to type something and then press enter. But I would say always include a prompt message inside input function. Otherwise, your user has no idea what to type. What to type. Now, whatever user types over here, input function always return it as a string, even if they typed a number, as we have seen by the demo. And when you need that input to behave as a number, wrap that, wrap that with int to convert it. Now, this is called casting. Okay. Now your action step for this video. What is your action step? What you should do? Your action step. Now build a small program. After this video, build a small program that asks the user, suppose this is a user, that asks the user for their name, their birth year, birth year, calculates how old they are using their current year, okay, and prints a personalized message. Print a personalized message with the result. You need input for both questions. Int for birth year, int for birth year, and some arithmetic to get the age. You have everything you need. Okay, you have everything you need. So you must try this action. This is your action after this video. In the next video, I'll be moving into data types. Okay, that is integers, floats, strings, and booleans, and how Python handles each one. Okay, so see you there. In the meantime, if you have any questions, just put in the comment section and let me know. And till that time, happy learning. Sorry about my drawing over here.